my channel if you haven't already. Because subscribing makes it feel good.
Hey everyone. How is everyone? I wanted to do a life update type of video to kind of explain why I haven't even posted one video in the last pushing 2 weeks. Even though I haven't done that many videos of me of doing this and that, I did that Mario one, pickup videos, which loved, good reviews and all that stuff. People liked it, oh, it's great. I'm glad you enjoyed it, But, I haven't even done, but since then, I haven't done no videos, me commentary, me playing video games, uncut, and all that, which I always do on my days off, give or take. But, unfortunately, tragedy happened for me and the people that knew him. My dad died out of the blue. Just, you talk about a 0 to 100 and just get the life sucked out of you, and it just fucking destroyed me. And I know I just gotta talk about it, explain all this shit, just because if you don't, if you let all this fucking shit inside and you don't just fucking talk, even if no one sees this video and whatnot, it doesn't matter then, as long as you got the fucking explain. But so he wasn't feeling good for about 2 weeks, give or take. Later find out it was over 3 months. Easy, give or take. But no indication. So, okay, about 2 weeks, not feeling good, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the doctor then, get a shot and get rid of this crap, like he always did. So after that day, he had to go to the hospital. Then he went to the hospital. They released him same day. Very next day, see, my dad, he was a preacher then. Yeah, I know, right? Me, a PK, my dad, a preacher then. Because anyone who knows me, I'm not religious. Heaven, hell, God, your religion, this is the right religion, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no. I've had to deal with that my entire life, of all of that stuff. No, I'm not religious, so. But he was a pastor then, old school, just, yeah. So, his pastor friend, the one he's been working with the last 3 years then, extremely close with him, he had to take him again to the hospital. He took him to the hospital, and my dad was so sick, he could not drive. So he went, they transferred him to another hospital, 2 hours away, a much better hospital than, that hospital was amazing for, nurses, everything. Instead of, oh, Great Value Hospital, that's in my town. So, he went, okay, so now it's Monday or something. I go to my job, I'm like, my dad's brother, hey, I just arrived, because originally we're from Texas, but we moved a while back, 10 plus years, But he flew in, like, hey, I just arrived, I'm at the hospital. And he's with, the pastor he's known for 3 years, working with another pastor who we've been family friends with for over 20. He flew in, because he was my dad's best friend. The one that flew in, pastor-wise. So, I'm like, okay, it's like Monday. I'm like, oh, okay, well, hey, my dad's brother, hey, we're gonna come pick you up. I'm like, okay, well, I'm off at so-and-so. And keep in mind, I just arrived at my job. I'm like, oh, I'm off the next day. I'll go. And I'm like, hey, we're gonna come pick you up today. I'm like, okay, well, I'm off at so-and-so. Like, no, it's gotten worse then. We gotta pick you up now. And I knew. I just instantly knew. I mean, there's always a chance, and it's not over till it's over then, but I instantly knew then, like, this is it. I mean, what can you do? There's nothing you can do, just, so I'm just, after that hit, and just, I put stuff away and restocked or whatever, and I had to go tell the boss who was there at the time. I'm like, hey, my dad's not going to make it. I have to go to the hospital as fast as I can and try and at least say goodbye. Yeah. So, and instantly just, crying and, was understandable, just, I already knew, like I said, I knew, and so I go home, and they pick me up, and we go, and talking, hey, this could be it. I'm like, it is it. So we get to the hospital, and this is Monday still. Instantly go in, and it was like seeing him hooked up to machines and all that, which, but it was like a vampire then, just sucked the life out of him, and just, that was just, but going in and talking and saying goodbye, and just, I mean, what can you say? Just, so, saying goodbye, and this and that, and just, what can I say except, I love you, and it's gonna be okay. You get to go to heaven. You get to see your mom and dad, and you get to see your grandma, and you get to see everyone who's waiting for you then, and You know, we did the communion, confession, all that stuff. Did it the way he wanted, of God's name and all that stuff. And so but the doctor then, comes in. Okay, well, we found out what it was. He has aggressive liver cancer. Which, cancer. Go fuck yourself. I mean, we've all had someone, or even yourself, to have to deal with cancer then, at least. But it was shocking and not shocking at the same time in this case, because his mom had it, his brother had it, I think his great-great-grandparents had it. I can't remember if it was one of them or both of them, but it's always been in the family. So the doctor's like, okay, we're going to do a liver test. We're going to put a shot in his liver then. We're going to see what type of cancer is it tomorrow then. If it's this cancer, we're going to immediately start chemo. Immediately start chemo. If it's this cancer, then there's no shot. So the next day, like I said, Tuesday now, it was already my day off. So went back, just, he still knows who everyone is within reason, but then he, go to sleep, waking up, go to sleep. So it's all that type of stuff. Like, ask the nurse, like, hey, I need to go back and adjust the pillow, this and that, move the bed up, down, all that stuff throughout. Which, understandable, like, so he's unable to function. Like, you can't use the bathroom, you can't do, he's on a liquid diet, but he can't eat nothing. Like, it just won't, it's not happening. So I talked to the nurse outside. I'm like, hey, I know this is it. I've been around death my entire life of this type of situations. Because my dad a preacher, it was only me and him. It was only me and him. He adopted me, and when I was like, less than 2 months, I was extremely sick. Back then, they didn't approve of adoptions, especially with a single man adopting. They didn't approve that back then. It's the 80s. Yes, I'm old. 80s, early 90s, and all that. They just assume, oh, well, he's, woo. No judgment. But that's the way it was. Hell, this is even before the Magic Johnson thing. Yeah, look up your history. Look it up, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the reaction, boys and girls, then, of Magic Johnson announcing he has AIDS and all that shit. Yeah, they turned his back on him really quick. So they didn't approve of adoptions back then, but because he was a pastor, and I know there's a photo of me and on the judge's lap. And the judge is a female. So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe she just... and so they approved the thing, and, he adopts me, and the rest is history. But flashback to now, I'm like, okay, so now I'm talking to the nurse. I'm like, hey. Oh, but the point is, I've been around death my entire life because he was a pastor then, just me and him. He preached over 300 plus sermons of, you know, when someone dies and you go to it and all that. And I always had to go to the thing, set the body up. We'd go to someone's house and communion, and oh, the old person is dead. We have to call the police and wait for them and all that stuff. You know, I've been around. I think that's what sparked it. That's what made me into loving scary movies and all that shit, of a fanatic that I've always been. So, flashback to now, I'm talking to the nurse then and all that, and look, I've seen this before then. It's nothing new. I know this is it. The machines are keeping him alive, right? And she said, yeah, I knew. And it's not like, oh, there's a mouth thing hooked up, he can't talk. No, it's just everything else making him function of all that. So, you know, sign papers and all that. And what's the decision? Keep him off the machines or on? And signed. I'm like, just let him go. Let him go in peace the way he wanted. He would never want to be hooked up to some machine and not really alive. You know? That's no way to live. So, again, praying, singing hymns, confession, all that stuff. They undo the machines. He's looking around. Hey, there's some guy over there. Oh, hey, there's some bearded guy over there. Which was me. But I'm like, it's just like Jesus. He was a bearded guy. The joke. He hated me of, you know, having... He always liked me clean cut and shaved and all that shit. And I finally had a chance to grow it out about 3 years ago. So he always hated it. But yeah. That was the joke thing of it. So, so they undo the machines, and about 2 hours later then, you know, one of them finally got a nurse. Hey, is he, gone? And they said, yeah. Which, I was watching him the entire time. He was gone at least 45 minutes. I already knew. I kind of didn't. I kind of didn't want to see him like that, especially at the very end. Lasting image, because it really fucked me up. It really did. I mean, but I wasn't going to go into another room and then him passing away. In the back of my mind, I'm like, what if he wakes up and says my name or something and I'm not there then, you know? I couldn't take the chance. So, nurses and they have to do the thing, check and see. They have to have a backup on proof and time and all that. I think he died at 2:13 p.m. officially, or 2:05, or 2:07. I can't remember then. It had to be 2:13, I thought. I don't know. It was Tuesday. Of course, on my fucking days off, because I was always been off on Tuesdays my entire life since having a job. Especially now, you know, this is easier to have appointments and all that stuff. But so the next day, but you know, I text everyone, and that was close to me. I'm like, he's gone, and Of course, I have to post on Facebook. I unfortunately have to tell everyone that my dad, so-and-so, that my dad has died. He was surrounded by his brother, son, close friends, praising God's name, and all that stuff. I was explaining, he was a pastor, dedicated his life to God, and for over 40 years then, he was an English teacher for over 20 plus. He only took time off so he could raise me and be and just so I announced it, and unknown when the day is of the church or the burial and all that stuff, but the next day, I said on the thing, I said, I hope, what can I say except I'm devastated and dealing with it because it's just me. It was only me and my dad. Like, I have a dad's brother and a few cousins, but they all live in Texas and all that. It's just me, all by myself. Ugh, man. Story of my life, right? Definitely have to clean that up in a bit. But it's just me and just in this house and just so quiet and just... But, which, I don't know. Oh, you're gonna move back to... Everyone's like, you're gonna move back to Texas? Are you gonna... Nah, I'm not moving back to Texas. I like where I'm at. I like the cold typeness most of the time. It's better than being 106 at 9 o'clock at night, as I was used to in Texas. Do not miss the heat. Whenever it's 50 below, I have windows down. Does not bother me at all. But I fucking hate snow with a passion. I really do. So, he dies Tuesday. The next day we have to go to the thing, pick out what he's gonna wear, then burying. I have to pick out a fucking casket. I'm like, oh man, just, it's so much to take in. But I did the best I could of what he was going to wear then. One of his preacher robes, it was gold. I'm like, I picked a white casket and gold handles and all that. And it looked perfect. It matched perfectly, thank God. But he never would have chose that. He never would have. He didn't even want a thing for him, we made sure then, like he said, he didn't want his name to be named in the sermon because it would take away from God, he thought. But that's everything from the truth. So we do that and have to get extra, I wear my old church pants and his shoes. And it's funny, like, I have a foot condition. It's too wide. I think 9.5. My feet always are giddy. And, but now I have to wear, like, size 11.5, size 12, 13, or whatever. Because it hurts my feet. If it's 9.5, whatever, then. So it just crunches it. So I wear his church shoes, one of them, and pants I already had. And, what is it? So it's, what is it? And we went to, I had to go buy a nice t-shirt thing and all that stuff, and just, yeah. So at my job, I get 3 days. 3 days of grievance. I use it for Saturday, because that's the day of the burial and everything. I used it for Monday because I knew the pastor's family thing, the family rest flew in, and like I said, my dad's brother, they're spending the nights. We're trying to go through stuff throughout the house, like, I'm going to keep that, I'm going to keep that. If you want that, let me know. Yes, no, no, I want it. Yes, you can have it, it's yours, and that type of stuff. I asked one of my ex-besties, the closest one in Illinois, like, I used to work with him. Hey, collect boxes for me, because I need a lot of boxes just to put stuff, this and that, and so it's the day of the burial and all that stuff, and I'm just, so, sorry, it's a lot to process, because all this shit just replays in your mind again, and just, so it's the day of, you know, I trust me, I'm thinking about, I could have just refused to go, this and that, and refused to talk to people, or shake anyone's hand, or whatever then, or hug, and whatever, but that was everything, but not. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do what my dad would have wanted. I put on a fake smile and talked to every single person that was at that place. Every single one. I shook their hands, people I knew, I hugged. That's another thing. Well, so I'm talking to people, people that was close to him, and I was explaining everything. I was explaining what, like, how it happened, and the pros and cons, and trading, like, memories and stories with him, and people did that. Oh, I'm from this church, blah, 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 and, you know, and, oh, I'm from this church from way back when, and, oh, I'm from this church from his original, and, you know, over 40 years plus, like I said, you know, so many churches, hundreds, so many people of just everything, of just, so, all of that, and, so we did that, we did the burial. And thank God, I'm so glad it didn't rain, because it said it was going to rain that day. I'm like, and it doesn't matter then if it rains, snows. It does not matter then. If it's set, if someone dying, someone getting buried, it happens that day. Because I've been to those, like I said. I don't know how many of all time that I've been at. Like I said, at least over 300 plus before I was 10. So in my entire life, I've probably been to at least over 500 plus. Easy. So it couldn't have gone better with that, and they had a lunch thing and all that, but I used my 3 days grievance Saturday, Monday, because I knew people was leaving that was staying the night. I didn't know if they were going to leave Sunday, Monday. It was both. I didn't want to not be here then and not say goodbye. So I was already off Tuesday, and I used it Saturday, Monday, and Wednesday. So people at the thing, the burial and all that, there was over 200. And I know there's lots of people who wasn't able to make it. And they apologize, and I'm like, hey, just. But there was over 200. I think there was 205. It was, I can't remember. It was like 203 or 205 or something. But it was over 200. My guess was, it's gotta be at the lowest 156, at the highest like maybe 237. I was close. So that and going through stuff, and at least now, like of where my bed's at, I have to go upstairs, the kitchen, this and that. I can't have this stuff on the wall. Like there's some stuff I'm keeping, other stuff. No, I'm getting rid of it. No, I just can't have this stuff on the wall. I can't. But I'll have maybe one of the rooms and a little dedication for him. I don't know. I don't know about anything right now. It's just all this stuff. It's just too much of everything. Just people are like, oh, how are you? This and that. And I'm like, I'm okay now because I'm not by myself and all this stuff. You're still, dealing with it. You're still in shock, but it's not like I'm not worried about myself now. I'm worried about myself, future self, a week from now, 2 weeks, a month from now. When I'm by myself, and I know if you let it, your mind, you'll just, if you don't talk about it, but if you let it, you'll just go, you'll go insane. Everything. You just lose yourself, and you just go insane. See, this is why I had to do a video of my life to explain, because I didn't have to do this, but I had to in my own right, because it's better to talk about it. But as you can see, there's no one to tell anyone of all the shit, to have to deal with this. So I play make-believe in my own mind right now, and I try to watch movies and just maybe a little video games, try to get my mind off it, of just, at least for those 30 minutes or 90 minutes or whatever. Then you get caught up in the movie or video games, and then you have to go back to, oh, yeah. just, of all of that, and in life, I always said, and people who know me close and all that, know me at all, even, I always said that no matter how messed up the situation is, you gotta look at the bright side. I mean, how the fuck can you do that in a situation like this, right? But you have to. So I'm telling myself, he had a heart attack in 2005. Okay? He could have died then. So, we got all those extra years then. Almost 05. He died in 2023. Almost an extra 20 years then with him. Right? So, I gotta be honest. And some people would think this is fucked up, but you don't get it. They won't get it. In the back of my mind, like I've said, I'm glad he didn't survive that type of, I'm glad he didn't have to do the chemo. Because I saw what it does to people. I saw what it did to my grandma then. She fought that for over pushing 15 years then. She had cancer 3 times. Just, I saw what it does. And I'm not even talking about, forget the pain that you have to have when you have you have to do the chemo and all that. I'm talking about the pain of fucking cancer. So I'm glad he didn't have to deal with that, even though he was in pain those last 3 months, especially the last 2 weeks. And he still went back to Texas to commit to be family's confirmation or whatever it was. And someone died close, his godson. I hate that I couldn't go to that. But all of that and just so I'm glad he didn't have to have to be in that pain of chemo and cancer itself. Cancer, once again. So, here I am, just, I could have took it, another week plus off, whatever then, easy. But I gotta stay busy. I'm trying, if I stay busy, I won't think of it as much, but I do anyway. And just trying to stay busy. I've gone through, like, kitchen-wise, all the canned goods and this and that, because I didn't eat what my dad ate, So I boxed up 5 boxes, well, there's 7. 5 boxes of canned goods I did, and I gave to the pastor that lives in town-ish, because he has 8 kids. 8 kids. So, yeah, that 5 boxes of canned goods, and that definitely will be used up. And I'm not 100% done with throwing food out, throwing shit out, food-wise, of just, so, the like all of his, like other than I kept like, my original ones, my baptism, whatever then, confirmation, whatever, I don't know. His like crosses and all that, and a few others picked out. I divided those crosses among the two pastors. I didn't want to box all his crosses up and it not be used, and let it be displayed on the wall. Let it be used of what they believe in, of what they hold dear. Then because like if you look, I got stuff on the walls and everything of stuff that mean the most to me. And for some people, all the crosses and all that God stuff and all that mean the closest to them as my dad, as God was to him. So, but like there was a huge cross displayed on the wall. I donated that to the church that he served at last, and where it was the burial and all that stuff was at. And I think I took a picture of it. I'll show it to you down there or up there then. I've always been a pre-thinker. Ask anyone. I am a legendary for giving gifts to people that I care about. Even if it's like 1 year from now, I'm like, I see something. Oh, that'd be cool. He'd like that for his birthday. He'd like that for his Christmas. He liked that. You know what I mean? So I bought this a while back. Months. I bought this photo. It cost like $250 or whatever it was. It's a huge, humongous. It does not give justice of how big it was. It was a huge Last Supper photo then framed. It was so big. My dad would have loved it. But that was given, and also to the church and the pastor and all that same. So other stuff like a few maybe will come back in a few months and get that, and like there's like my dad my dad had an old cookie jar then, right? And that was when him and his brother was kids, and his brother wants it because he has a story of it, and just he stole a cookie. My dad's brother, he stole a cookie, and man, my grandma spanked the living shit. Bah, bah, bah. When parents were able to spank their kids, not a special timeout of this generation. You wonder why this generation of kids, it's so bad. Sorry, it's the truth. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know it's true. I mean, my God, they're so ungrateful of now, most of them. Having a fucking iPhone or whatever, what, age 7? A tablet? Really? Man, you're lucky to get one video game, like at your birthday or Christmas. When stuff was appreciated and was special. I remember my dad just going like on a Sunday after church and all that, going to get soda at a place or maybe a little ice cream or something. That was special for them back then. People are so ungrateful for stuff of now, of everything. But not me. I'm so thankful then for my dad, and I'm so thankful for everything he was the best. He really was. His church and all that, and God's name, and him, he would help every single person he came in contact with, of talking to them or doing whatever then. As long as it took. If it only took an extra 5-10 minutes, or if it took 2 hours then to do, He would do that for every single person. To the hundreds, to the thousands. Thousands. So, just... I'm trying, y'all. I know there's that new baseball game that comes out like a couple weeks or something, or this month. I'm gonna get that, but that's about it, pretty much. I don't know. Again, trying stuff off the wall. Gotta take off. Can't see it. Nope. Probably all the stuff like down in my man cave or whatever you want to call it, basement or whatever ish. I'm thinking about just keeping everything down here. Then I don't know, and certain stuff I haven't used yet. I'm gonna put them upstairs. Then I don't know. So. Yeah, that's why I haven't been on posting stuff. Or even my movies at random on Facebook. I created that movie group years ago. Go check it out. And I haven't posted anything. No movie of the night. No random what the F LOL video photos of stupid shit I would do. I've only posted maybe one or two things on my TikTok. Go check that out too. So just stupid random stuff I always do. But that's me. It's always been me. Stupid shit. What the fuck is this? Come on. Stop. But yeah. I'm trying to get back to everything. Trying to get back into I'm on autopilot right now. The job thing and certain stuff, packing away. I'm just trying to stay busy and keep my mind busy. But I definitely have not slept that much since. It's been almost 2 weeks. I haven't eaten that much, but God knows we could all not eat a little and hey, we could survive just fine. I gotta put on that fake smile, just trying. But I've always been honest about everything. I always have been about. I miss him so much. Just, and it's not like, oh, you hate God and all that and fuck you, blah, blah, blah. You took him away from me. Oh, it's not like that. If anything, you gave him to me. Because he adopted me, like I said. And that was a gift. Everything he did was, Just, I don't know. But, yeah. So that was everything of what happened, and I'm trying.